Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to True Sim Productions. I am your host from the WD Broadcasting Network on Facebook, Winston Deal, ready to bring you guys race number 9 of 12 for the All-Star Racing League Chestnut Hill Late Model Stock Series. This is last week's winner right here, Brian Voss, making his qualifying run. Get the times up on the left side of your screen. Voss, second lap time right there. Quick time in the 55 machine. He is scored in the top spot right now. Next up, the guy that finished second last week was able to pick up the victory in the Super Late Models last night. He leads the point standings after the Concord Speedway in the Chestnut Hill Late Model Stock Series. Just 12 points separating Brandon Elvis and Brian Voss. We'll see what Elvis can do on lap number 1 here at Martinsville. Elvis goes quick time on lap number 1 in the 54 machine. Quite a bit quicker than the 55. Checkered flag, lap number 2. A little bit slower, but still quick time for Brandon Elvis in the 54 machine. Next up, Dalton Creech in the 36 machine. Making his qualifying effort here tonight. Creech finished 9th last week at Concord. See what he can do on lap number 1 right here. He'll go to the 8th spot, a 1968 for the 36 of Dalton Creech. Zach Murphy just got done with his qualifying run. He ends up in the 6th spot for right now. Hunter Lagoons jumps up in the 027 machine. And checkered flag right there for Dalton Creech. He's going to stay in that 9th spot. So I think qualifying is done for everybody. As Lagoons crosses the line right there, he'll stay in that 6th position. That is your field. Brandon Elvis takes quick time. We'll go ahead and grab a word from him and see how he's feeling about trying to sweep the week. Alrighty, Brandon. Quick time here tonight once again. You got a little bit of a gap to you and Voss. I mean, not really that much, but it is very close all the time here, but a little bit of a gap between you guys here this evening. What can you do in this 100-lap race to keep the 54 up there?
I think that's going to get pretty tight, especially as the track rubbers up more. Hopefully we can get out front, stay out front. Passing is really hard and track position is really critical. So got to take advantage of that and hopefully be there at the end.
Alrighty, well, you have won last night. You won the late model stock race, or super late model race last week. You were second last week in the late model stock series. A lot of momentum. How are you feeling about your chances? Give me a 1 to 10 shot.
About an 8 right now. I just gotta get out front and hold the track position. If I can keep Voss at bay, I'll be good to go.
Alrighty, well, I expect a good battle between you two. Good luck to you. Hopefully we can talk to you later.
Yep, thank you.
Yes, sir. Alrighty. That was Brandon Elvis, driver of the number 54 machine. We'll get our grid up for you guys, our starting lineup on screen right here. Brandon Elvis going to roll off from the pole in the 54 machine, a 19.563. Brian Voss, 36 100ths off. Usually we're seeing the thousands lately. Elvis able to find a little bit of a gap in speed right there. But Voss going to roll off second in the 55 machine. Then it'll be Connor Lee in the 8, rolling off third. To his outside, Justin Coleman in the 14 machine. starts 4th. Owen Zacharias going to roll off 5th in the 35. He's got Hunter Lagoons to his outside. Zach Murphy will roll off 7th in the 29. Then it'll be Caleb Thompson in the 04 starting 8th. Dalton Creech will roll off 9th in the 36. Then Adam Fulford in the 71 will start 10th next to him. Back behind him, Brandon Kelly will start 11th in the 9 machine with David Rogers in the 13th at his outside in the 12th spot. Back behind, Jeffrey Miller in the 79 starts 13th, and Justin Elvis in the 44 will start 14th, and shotgun on the field, it's going to be Kevin Prettyman in the 88 machine. So we have 15 cars getting ready to take the green flag here in just a couple moments. Everybody getting a chance to roll away here, get a little bit of heat in the tires, pull the belts tight one more time, get their strategy dialed in for this 100-lap event. These guys get one set of tires down in the pits. Will we see it used? Likely not. Track position going to be a big factor in this race. But we will have to see 100 laps here tonight. Your top 3 from last week, Brian Voss in the 55. He starts outside of row number 1 here tonight. And Brandon Elvis in the 54. He's on the pole here tonight. Justin Coleman Justin Coleman in the 4th spot. So your top 3 from last week, all up inside the top 5. Going to be battling once again this week. We'll see who will get the better of the 3 this time around. Brandon Elvis going to have the best shot of it right from the get-go. He's going to be starting on pole and leading them into turns 1 and 2. But the pace car lights are off, and we are down the back straightaway, getting ready to send them green. Pace car makes the left turn down to pit road, and it is in the hands of Brandon Elvis and Brian Voss. And they're going to make their way through the Coleman Design restart zone. And we are back racing in the Chestnut Hill Late Model Stock Series underway at Martinsville. Into turns 1 and 2. Brandon Elvis going to get the jump in the 54 machine. He leads down the back straightaway, trying to lead lap number 1. Everybody getting settled in. Lap number 1. First 6 cars are single file. Zach Murphy able to get around. Oh, big crash back in the back of the pack. David Rogers and Jeffrey Miller tangled up in turns 1 and 2. We'll see if they can get it sorted out. And it looks like Rogers going to back up. Miller going to get the 79 machine back rolling as well. The green flag will stay out. But you saw the 13 turn hard left in the inside wall. Big time damage for Rogers in the 13. He's on pit road right there. So a tough break for Miller in the 79 as well. He is up in front of your leaders right here. Brandon Elvis has a mirror full of Brian Voss in the 55 machine. Only a car length separating the two as they head into turns 3 and 4. We reach lap number 5 right there. Elvis able to get a good start, get away clean, and kind of start to settle into your rhythm. But he has got Brian Voss right there, and he's going to put up a fight for a majority of this race. Zach Murphy in the 29, he's up to the 5th spot. He started 7th in this one. Got a couple positions on the initial start into turns 1 and 2. Murphy's been a tough competitor this season. Comes into this evening 4th in the point standings. He's got 1 victory. That was back in the All-Star race at Nashville Fairgrounds. He's done a good job this season. Getting top 5s. He's got 5 on the year so far. Putting up good numbers at this point in the season. He's up front. Brandon Elvis still your race leader. They're approaching Jeffrey Miller in the 79 machine. See if this is able to, or if this allows Brian Voss to find an opening. There's Elvis into turns 1 and 2 right there. Gets away from Voss a little bit. They've got quite a bit in front of Connor Lee in the 8 machine. Coleman sits about 3 car lengths back from the 8 right there as well. Everybody just riding around right now, kind of just trying to get to the end of the race, and really the main goal right here is save those tires. Track position going to be key late in the race, but you're not going to want to burn up your tires early on. Going Zacharias in the 35. He started in the 5th spot, back to the 7th position right here. He's got Caleb Thompson on his back bumper, but Thompson was up the racetrack that time out of 2. Adam Fulford in the 71 machine, putting some pressure on the back bumper of the number 9. So far this season, we've had 4 different winners. Zach Murphy with 1, and Brian Voss and Brandon Elvis both have 3. Justin Coleman with 2. So far, nobody else able to get into victory lane. We'll see if anybody can sneak one here tonight at Martinsville, Missouri. Jeffrey Miller to the wall of the 79 machine. Able to keep it pointed in the right direction. Right now, it looks like the fastest cars on the racetrack are this 14 and the 29 of Zach Murphy. Kind of closed that gap to Connor Lee in the 8 machine, as Lee was way up the racetrack in turns 1 and 2 that time. He's lost a little bit of ground to your race leaders as well. Down the front straightaway to go. Justin Coleman currently sitting in the 4th spot where he started this race. Would like to get up into that 3rd position to have that inside lane on a restart. It'll be very, very key to be that 3rd car to get to hit the gas pedal. See battle right there. Brian Voss is also right there for the lead, still on the back bumper of Brandon Elvis. We are 17 laps in here at the Martinsville Speedway, coming to lap number 18. Brandon Elvis still your race leader. Brian Voss still in that 2nd position. Connor Lee still fighting the 14 of Justin Coleman. This looks very hard to pass, like what Brandon Elvis said earlier on in the broadcast. Very tough to pass here tonight. Field comes around right here. Brandon Elvis going to lead them to lap number 20. We're going to take a quick step away, but you guys won't miss a thing, as we will go WD Broadcasting Network side by side. Be right back in just a moment at Martinsville. Alrighty, folks, we are back here under caution. Jeffrey Miller in the 79 machine, I think had trouble there. We'll take a look at what happened to the 79 of Miller. He was running in the 14th spot, couple laps down. Remember, he had that early trouble with David Rogers in the 13 and just gets loose in turns 1 and 2 right there. Slides it down the racetrack. Nobody else collected, but enough to bring out the caution flag, and that puts us under yellow for the first time here tonight. Miller gets the 79 back rolling. And your field is going to get re-racked and re-stacked. So far, Brandon Elvis has been able to keep the race lead from Brian Voss. Connor Lee hanging on to the 3rd spot. Justin Coleman up in the 4th position right there. He looked pretty racy behind the back bumper of the 8 machine. We'll see if he's got anything on this restart. What about Zach Murphy? He's up 2 positions from his 7th place starting spot. Can he jump up another row on this restart? Dalton Creech right there as well, the biggest mover so far. Started 9th in this race, up to the 6th position. Talk about biggest movers. Hunter Lagoons right now, the biggest mover towards the back. Back 3 spots from his 6th place starting position. Currently running in the 9th spot. But no worries so far. Just a quarter of the way into this one. We've got a restart right here. A lot of opportunity for these guys to get some spots back. But the field going to come back right here. I believe they're going to see the 1 to go signal. Maybe not. Looks like they'll get the 2 to go signal. Long pace laps here at the Martinsville Speedway. Good chance to take a look at the weather and give a shout out to some of our sponsors. Cool temperatures here tonight. 75 degrees on the track. 72 degree air temp here in Martinsville. Special thanks to Coleman Designs, Barry Elvis Performance and Fabrication, Chestnut Hill, Osborne Photography, and Quality Graphics. Everybody helping out. True Sim Productions as well for letting me invade here on Monday and Tuesday nights. But the field is back in the hands of Brandon Elvis. The lights are off on the iRacing.com pace car. Field going to make their way down the back straightaway. So we'll get our first look at a restart right here. We'll see who is able to take the top spot. The pace car is in. The field going to work their way off of turns 3 and 4 through the Coleman Design restart zone. We are back and we are racing once again. Ooh, Brian Voss aggressively got back down in the line right there. Connor Lee checked up just a little bit. Ooh, contact between Lee and Coleman in the 14. Coleman on the outside lane right here, trying to take away the 3rd spot. Elvis gets out to the race lead once again. But look at Justin Coleman on the outside lane, trying to take away that top position from, or that 3rd position from Connor Lee. Lee up over the curb right there, but Coleman's in the wall off the corner. Those two neck and neck into turns 1 and 2. Zach Murphy just sitting in the catbird seat right there, waiting for one of these two to peek ahead and then try and get the move on both of them. Look at the field right there. Everybody bunched up after this restart. 2-car breakaway. Brandon Elvis and Brian Voss have kind of gapped this battle for 3rd. But it's so easy to pull away when cars are side by side like this battling. Nobody able to use up the racetrack that they need to keep the speed of the leaders. But still side by side for third. Look at Coleman roll the outside lane through the center of the corner and just try and get the momentum. He's able to peek ahead down the back straightaway, but not able to clear. Definitely better through turns 3 and 4. You see he gets a lot more of an advantage into turns 1 and 2 right there. Down the backstretch one more time right here. You see Coleman just peeks ahead into the corner. Really drives it in that time. Got a little bit loose. Going to try and drive it off the corner. But look at Zach Murphy, Dalton Creech. They're both bunched up right there waiting for one of these two drivers to make a mistake. Looks like Coleman going to prevail right now. Is he able to clear? Drives in way deep into turns 3 and 4. Going to drive that car through the center, and I think he's going to be clear down the front straightaway. So move Justin Coleman up into the third spot. Meanwhile, up front, Brian Voss in the 55 is set on kill. Right there on the back bumper of the 54 machine. Just trying everything he can. Looks very tough to build up a run. But just right on the back bumper, waiting for Brandon Elvis to slip up. If Elvis makes one mistake, Voss is going to be there to capitalize. But it is very tough to pass, as you can see. As they work through turns 3 and 4 right here, they'll see lap number 40 out of 100. Elvis, your race leader. Voss in second. Justin Coleman has gotten the third spot. Connor Lee back behind him in fourth. Zach Murphy in the 29 still sits in fifth. And it's Dalton Creech back behind him in sixth. Hunter Lagoons in the 027 machine in the seventh spot right now. Owen Zacharias behind him, Caleb Thompson, and Adam Fulford rounding out the top 10. 13 cars on the lead lap. Kevin Prettyman, the last car on the lead lap, in the 13th spot. Ahead of him, it's Justin Elvis and Brandon Kelly. All these cars in a line, just nobody able to tuck out a line and make a pass. As up front, the battle for the lead is very, very intense. Brian Voss is just all over painting the back bumper. Meanwhile, back behind, Justin Coleman really starting to turn up the dial a little bit, putting in some lap times much, much quicker than your race leaders. We'll take a look that last time by. Coleman, the fastest car on the racetrack by quite some margin in front. He's starting to pick up the pace a little bit and track down your race leaders. But up front, these two just continue to show the way. Elvis not able to get away one bit. Voss is right there. But who will it be? We've still got over 50 laps left, not even to halfway in this one. And the battle is very, very intense between the two. Justin Coleman in the 14 continuing to track down your race leaders. 1.65 seconds is the gap. Back behind him, Connor Lee under pressure from Zach Murphy for the fourth spot. Murphy trying to get up inside the top four. Be in those front two rows on the restarts. But still up front, just a very, very close battle between these two. Lap 50 right here. They'll come back to the halfway point. 50 laps in here at the Martinsville Speedway. So far, it has been all Brandon Elvis as they work their way into turns 3 and 4. Voss off the bumper a little bit. Cross flags up in the air. Halfway in, halfway home. 50 laps to go for Brandon Elvis. We're going to take a quick step away here on True Sim Productions. We'll be right back in just a moment with more coverage, but you won't miss a thing because we'll go WD Broadcasting Network side by side. Be right back from Martinsville. Alrighty, folks, back here on the WD Broadcasting Network on True Sim Productions. Still the battle for the race lead, very, very tight. Some other battles throughout the field as well that are pretty tight. Everybody still keeping each other honest here at the Martinsville Speedway. Right now it's still Brandon Elvis showing the way. Voss still right there on his tail, though. These guys have about 1.6 seconds still over Justin Coleman. Coleman not able to eat into that gap too much while we were away. Still 1.6 between the two. Look at the the fourth spot. Connor Lee still hanging on, but Zach Murphy has been right there. We saw a little bit over the break. Murphy has been eyeing up that back bumper of the 8 machine, trying to find an opening, just not able to do so at this point. "60 laps in this time by. We'll have 40 laps to go when they come back around. Elvis has led the entire way to this point, but Brian Voss has been right there on the back bumper, just waiting to make a move, trying to find the right opportunity. And he has been right there this entire event, just hasn't found the space he needs to make that move. Still a little bit of time here in this one. Voss definitely gonna make Elvis earn this victory. Not able to save here in the 54 for sure. Zach Murphy still not able to get around Connor Lee for the 4th spot. Dalton Creech hanging in the 6th position right now. Justin Elvis was able to get around Brandon Kelly in the 9. So move him up into the 11th spot. Brian Voss driving into the corner a little bit lower than the 54 of Elvis. You can kind of see the line that he's running. Drives it in a little bit earlier. You see Elvis gets the run down the back straightaway, though. Very different lines. As, Elvis slipped up a little bit there in the center of the corner. Voss was right there on the back bumper. We are 67 laps in. We will see 33 laps to go when they get back to the line. And just amazed by how close Brian Voss has been able to get, but not make this pass. He is all over the back bumper. Look once again on board with the 55 machine. Just not able to find the opening he needs. And Elvis just not able to pull away and open up that gap just too much. Kevin Prettyman in the 88 machine going to be up in front of him. We'll see if that plays any factor in this, if they catch him in a bad spot. You see through the center of the corner right there, the 54 just kind of drives off. 55 and Voss having trouble on the exit of the straightaways. But right here, caution flag is out for a second time. Caution flag flies. Hunter Lagoon's involved. Owen Zacharias as well in the 35. We'll see what happened. So here's a look into turns 3 and 4. Oh, it looks like the 35 just kind of drove in on the bottom, got into Lagoons, and they spun enough to bring out the caution flag. On board, yeah, just gets into the left rear quarter panel, and around he goes. Up front, though, it is pit stop time for some. Brandon Elvis down pit road. Brian Voss, Justin Coleman electing to stay out. So a couple people willing to gamble. Brandon Elvis and the 54 down pit road going to get some right side tires here, more than likely. We'll see if anybody elects to put all 4 on. Looks like Elvis not going to. Neither will Connor Lee. Everybody else on the 2 tire strategy as well. But that puts us under yellow for a second time here this evening. We're going to take a quick step away here on True Sim Productions, but we'll be right back in just a moment. Alrighty, folks, we are back here on True Sim Productions, getting ready to send the field back. Green flag racing with 25 laps to go. It'll be Brian Voss and Justin Coleman now leading us to the green. These two drivers did not come down pit road along with Brandon Kelly in the 9 through the Coleman Design restart zone, and we are back racing with 25 laps to go. Brian Voss jumps away to the early race lead. Coleman going to get into the second spot behind him. Here comes Brandon Elvis, who led the beginning of this race. He gets into the third spot. Brandon Elvis on fresh tires. Will he be able to get around your front two cars? Zach Murphy battling for the fourth spot with Brandon Kelly in the 9. Trying to take away that position. Looks like he is able to do so. But now Justin Coleman trying to track down Brian Voss. Brandon Elvis in the third spot has fresh tires on the right side of that race car. We'll see if he can track down your front two. 22 to go at the line for Voss right here. Trying to win in back-to-back weeks. Ooh, we've got trouble out in the back. Caleb Thompson got on the outside wall. I think Justin Elvis in the 44 might have as well. I think everybody's able to keep it going in the right direction. Dalton Creech getting around the 9 of Brandon Kelly. Creech just shy of a top 5 right here. Connor Lee hanging on to that spot in the 5th position. But up front, last time by, Zach Murphy in the 29 machine set his fastest lap of the race. Way quicker than your front 4 right there. And then the rest of your front 3 trying to track down Brandon Elvis and maybe get into this 3rd position. We get a late race restart. He's going to be right there, ready for these front 2. So we've got 19 laps to go now for Brian Voss. Just trying to hang on here. He's got Justin Coleman right there on his rear bumper. That last time by, Voss just a little bit quicker, but it's been back and forth between these two, similar to what we saw with Brandon Elvis in the 54 and Brian Voss earlier on. But we'll come back to 17 laps to go. Brian Voss trying to do it in back-to-back weeks. Look at Murphy in the 4th spot right here, trying to get a run on the 54, Brandon Elvis. He pulls up to the back bumper right there. Elvis just able to hold the throttle down the back straightaway. Drives deep into turn 3 right there. Ooh, maybe a little bit of contact up front. Justin Coleman, I think, got into the back bumper of Brian Voss right there into turns 1 and 2 that time. Coleman trying to pick up his 3rd victory of the season. Brian Voss got his 3rd last week. Brandon Elvis did it a couple weeks ago at the Southern National Motorsports Park. Coleman wants to do it here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway. Right now just trying everything he can to get a run to the back bumper of the 55 and pull out from underneath of him. But it's just so hard to pass here at Martinsville in these late model stock cars. We've got 12 to go for Brian Voss. This would be a big night in the point standings. He won last season. He is your defending champion. Trying to do it in back-to-back seasons. He's in the 2nd spot right now. Currently just 12 points back from Brandon Elvis. This would be a great night if he could put that 55 machine in victory lane. He will have 10 laps to go when they get back around this time by. Take a look back at Zach Murphy. He's really caught up to that 54 machine, and Elvis is kind of fallen out of reach of your front two, even with these new Hoosier tires. But we've heard guys say it before. Sometimes it kind of upsets the handling at first. As Elvis in the 54 up the racetrack a little bit. Murphy trying desperately to get onto the podium. Murphy finished second at Southern National a couple weeks ago. Then 3 weeks ago, picked up the victory at Nashville Fairgrounds. Murphy doing a good job being consistent, being there at the end of these races. Trying to take the third spot with 8 laps to go. Let's look at Murphy right there, taking a peek to the inside. Just not able to get the run. See what he can do down the back straightaway right here. We've got 7 laps, coming back to 6 laps to go. And Zach Murphy just trying everything he can to get a run for the 3rd position. Meanwhile, Brian Voss has kind of opened up that gap. Justin Coleman not able to keep the pressure on. 5 laps to go for the 55 machine. He is starting to check out here. A 10th faster that last time by. Brian Voss trying to win back-to-back weeks. A slow start to the season this year for Brian Voss. Did not pick up a podium until his first win at Myrtle Beach. Or sorry, his first win at South Boston. But since then, Voss has been on a tear in the 55 machine, winning at Myrtle Beach. A couple weeks after that, second at the Fairgrounds in the All-Star race. Winning last week at Concord for his 3rd victory of the season, and now he's going to try and do it here tonight. We've got 2 laps to go for the 55 of Brian Voss. You'll see the white flag out of turns 3 and 4 right there. White flag is up one more time around for the 55 of Brian Voss. Voss into turns 3 and 4 for a final time. He's got plenty of room, plenty of time. Little wiggle at the line. Brian Voss gonna pick up the victory at Martinsville. Voss collects his 4th victory of the season here tonight. First it was South Boston, then Myrtle Beach. Concord last weekend. For the first time, he goes back-to-back. Winner last week, winner this week, Brian Voss in the 55. He is going to burn it down here on the front straightaway more than likely. But we're going to take a quick step away here on True Sim Productions. We'll be right back with a word from our top 3 in just a moment. Before we wrap things up here at the Martinsville Speedway.
end. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around, we're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
No back into the fence. They're still beating and banging. And to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Alrighty, folks, we are back here on True Sim Productions, ready to wrap things up and get a word from our top 3 finishers, starting with our 3rd place finisher here tonight. Started on the pole, made the call to come down pit road, ended up not working out in his favor here tonight. Up into the broadcast booth, Brandon Elvis, you get a copy. Alrighty, well, made the call to come down pit road there at the end. Just didn't work out for you. Didn't have the advantage on those new tires that you probably hoped for.
Should have stayed out, but woulda, coulda, should have, right?
Yeah, always wish you would have done the other thing when it doesn't go your way, and it's always hard to be the leader in that situation and make that call first, because you know the guys behind you may do the exact opposite of what you do, and that is what happened here tonight. But still, a good night in points, able to capitalize and get the 3rd place spot. You drove through the field on the restart, and I thought you might have had a shot there, but obviously, like you said, glued to the racetrack, didn't look like you had any run off the corner. But like I said, good run in the 3rd spot. Is there anybody that you have to thank helps get you this podium here tonight?
Yeah, man. Coleman Design, making us some good-looking race cars. My buddies, my teammates, Elvis Coleman Racing. Shout out Justin, finished 2nd tonight. Congrats to Brian on his win. Barryless Performance, Chestnut Hill Restaurant. Oh, Shock Eye Racing Performance for building these setups for us. Coastal Performance. I'm leaving everybody out. BH Home Construction, Gibbs Brothers Construction, Parker Brothers Windows Tinton. You for putting on the broadcast. Congrats to Brian and Justin again on their 1st and 2nd place run. Yeah, that's about it.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you on your 3rd place run. We'll see where you stack up in points tomorrow, but nonetheless, congrats on your 3rd place run. We wish you luck next week.
All right, thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, that was your 3rd place finisher, Brandon Elvis. Now to talk to 2nd place. Thought he might have had a run at it at the end there. Very close for the 14 of Justin Coleman. We'll get him up into the broadcast booth. Justin Coleman, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Alrighty, well, you started in the 4th spot here tonight. You stayed up inside the top 5 most of the race. Got into the 3rd spot during that long green flag run. And made the call to stay out, did not come down pit road, and thought you might have had a shot at the 55 right there. It looks like just might have ran out of speed there at the end.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That 55 is just fast here. I was throwing everything and the kitchen sink at him, but I don't know. The car's just tight, shoving the nose. I tried my best, but we'll take 2nd here. I'm not a big fan of Martinsville, but I don't know. I got something going on with my wheel. I can't. Everything works fine in practice and qualifying, but in the race, I can't adjust brake bias, or look left or right, or anything like that. So it would have been nice to try to put some brake bias into it, but I don't know. We'll take it. Hey, top 3. Good night for me.
Yeah, definitely a good run for you in the 14 machine. And a night that was very hard to pass to pick up 2 positions. It's better than the 54. He lost 2 positions, so you got those 2 spots that he lost. But regardless, second spot here tonight. Who do you have to thank for another podium finish for you?
As always, thank you and your broadcasting, WD Broadcasting Network. Thank my team, ECR, Brandon, Dalton, Justin. Chris Smith obviously couldn't make it tonight. He wanted to go play softball, but anyway, props to all them guys. I enjoy running with them. Run down my sponsors: Barry Elvis Performance and Fabrication, Coastal Performance, Shock Eye Racing Performance, Coleman Design, Gibbs Brothers Construction, BH Homes Construction, Parker Brothers Window Tinting, and Chestnut Hill, the restaurant in Myrtle Beach.
Alrighty, well, your third podium finish in a row here this evening. Next week we head to North Wilkesboro. What can you do there to keep this trend up?
Ooh, well, we're still barely in the point, so I'm gonna have to pull something out of the old hat at North Wilkesboro. We gotta get back in victory lane to get a little bit of points on Brandon and Voss, but it'll be a good race. North Wilkesboro always puts a good show, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a fun final 3 races to cap off the season and watch you, Brandon, and Brian all battle for this championship. All 3 of you champions in the 3 seasons that I've covered, so it's going to be exciting to see who gets it this time around. It's kind of like a winner-take-all. Best man gets it, But
yes,
regardless, still a good run for you. Congratulations on your 3rd place run, Justin. Or sorry, 2nd place run.
All right, thank you, sir, and congratulations to Brian Voss on his win.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, that was Justin Coleman in the 14 machine. We'll grab a word now from the man of the hour. Our race winner here tonight will be Brian Voss in the 55 machine. Brian, you get a copy.
Yeah, Winston, got you, man.
Alrighty, well, started in the 2nd spot here tonight. You were right behind Brandon Elvis. All those green flag laps that we ran, you were glued to the back bumper of the 54 machine. Made the call on lap 74 to not come down pit road, stayed out on the racetrack. What made you take that call, or make that call, I should say, and go the opposite of Brandon Elvis?
I mean, I thought balance-wise it wasn't bad. I was kind of puzzled in practice, just couldn't not get the push out of it on anything we did. And we were just talking a little while ago with Brandon and Coleman. I think clean air kind of wasn't a good thing tonight. He had a handful, and I was just sitting there kind of cruising behind him. And I knew we had more tire. Like, I didn't use up too much. Like, I was easing, slowly setting into the corner, not bouncing off the chip, and just kind of wrapping the center. A few times I would try to make a run just to see how much turn I had, because I knew if I ever got inside, he would pinch me down. And it would still come off pretty low, so I just was content to ride and just make the move when needed. But it kind of worked out for me. And he pitted. I was like, I still think I got a little bit left here. So, yeah, we stayed out, and it seemed to be the winning call, so we'll take it.
Yeah, definitely made the right call there. You and Coleman both kind of stepped away from Elvis and Murphy, who were on fresh tires there at the end. But a good run for you. You're able to capitalize on that strategy call and pick up your 4th victory of the season. You take you're now the outright holder of most victories this season. You and Brandon were tied coming into tonight. It'll be a good night in the point standings as well. You were just 12 points back. We'll see where you stand after tonight's race, but definitely a good run for you here, Brian. Who do you have to thank for the victory here tonight?
My buddy Jay and Scott, On Tap Dispense Services, they came on board this year. Got to thank them each and every week. We get the opportunity to. Sugar Moss, Kate's Confections, Florence Motor Speedway, Ray and Total Body Fuel, Fueled by Miller Lite, all the guys at All Star, Crooked Line, you for doing this broadcast each and every week. It's always good. Even like last night, I enjoyed going back and watching it. Just sitting here chilling. It's always good and very professionally done, to say the least.
Yes, thank you, Brian, for the little tip right there, or the little compliment right there. Always fun to have you here on the WD Broadcasting Network on True Sim Productions. Very fun time, and it's always fun to see you and Brandon and Justin battling, always at the front of the field. Very fun time. But nonetheless, congratulations to you on your 4th victory of the season. Next week we head to North Wilkesboro. How are you feeling going into that race with a whole lot of momentum, winning 2 weeks in a row?
I like Wilkesboro. It's always tricky though. You never know what you're going to have with the setup wise. You just kind of lock some laps in practice when the track rubbers up and kind of see where the balance is. We thought we had a good car there and could win it last year, and then Chris got by me there at the end. We had a pretty good race, him and I side by side for the win. So looking forward to Wilkesboro. Just like each and every week, stay out of trouble. Try to get some bonus points. And it's really coming down to the wire on these points still. So just got to stay out of trouble as well.
Yeah, just 3 races till the finish, but you're going into the final 3 with a lot of momentum, like I said. Congratulations to you, Brian, on your 4th victory of the season.
Thank you, sir. We got a grandfather clock. We're going to fill it with beer money for the crew. Tick-tock. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Congrats, Brian.
Thanks, Wilson.
Alrighty, folks. That was Brian Voss, driver of the number 55 machine, picking up the victory here tonight. We'll take a look at our schedule on screen right here. Next week, North Wilkesboro for 100 laps, Kern for 100 laps, and Hickory will round out the season. 150 laps there. Going to be a fun final 3 weeks. You won't want to miss it. Be right here on True Sim Productions, but I think that is going to do it for us here tonight. We look forward to seeing you guys on the WD Broadcasting Network on Facebook and YouTube tomorrow night for the Mini Stock Madness series and the Street Stock Showdown. Going to be 2 exciting nights of racing. We've got 5 flags for the Street Stocks and Kern County Legends for the Mini Stocks. A night you're not going to want to miss, but nonetheless, thank you guys for tuning in here tonight on True Sim Productions. We'll see you guys next week. I'm your host from the WD Broadcasting Network on Facebook, Winston Deal, signing it off. Peace.